Live to Hong Kong now. Delighted to be joined on the line by Patrick Tsang, private equity investor, chairman of the Tsang's Group, based in Hong Kong, but with a significant presence here in Dubai. Patrick, good morning. Thanks very much indeed for being with us.
Morning, Richard. Good to see you.
So paint a picture of the scenes in Hong Kong at the moment. Chinese New Year begins in earnest this weekend.
Yes, Hong Kong, today is the last year of the year. So tomorrow, tonight, midnight, it's the first year of the Chinese New Year. It's the year of the dragon, which is the most auspicious horoscope. So we're looking for a great year of new fortune and luck in Hong Kong, China, and the rest of the world.
What will the celebrations look like this year? Of course, Chinese New Year has been disrupted over the past few years by COVID. This year will be, some people are saying, the first year where there are no COVID legacy restrictions that are going to impact Chinese New Year. How does it feel on the ground?
So it's feeling great. Hong Kong, we're expecting over 1 million visitors from mainland China, which is 80% of pre-pandemic levels. We've seen a shift of different behaviors of how mainland Chinese have been traveling, especially to Hong Kong. And this year is predicted for Chinese New Year to be a very fruitful, very busy one.
And yet it comes at a time when there are challenges for the Chinese economy and the Hong Kong economy. Looking at the front page of the Financial Times this morning, this is the headline: plummeting prices highlight Beijing's struggle to revive investor confidence. I was looking at the Hang Seng this morning. The stock market is trading today, falling again, down about 30% over the past year. Of course, you'll be aware of these challenges. As the chairman of the Tsang's Group, what are you seeing? What's the yin and the yang, the good and the bad about the Hong Kong and the greater Chinese economy at the moment?
Well, right now, China is suffering. It's going through a tough time, but, it's still, the second largest economy in the world, and it will come back in a different form. Interesting enough is most banks, including JP Morgan, they're predicting 2024, the GDP will be, growing at 4.9%, which is actually quite high. Secondly, what it means is, economy is a cycle. So I believe that it just means that China and Hong Kong, we have to do things a little bit differently. We've seen how Dubai and the UAE has really changed itself for the last few years during COVID to become one of the top places to do business and for tourism. So I foresee what will happen in China is that this is the perfect time for Chinese companies to actually go global. Historically, China's been such a large market. Chinese companies have been focused on the domestic market, and then we'll see a lot of technology companies actually going global. And this is what we're trying to bridge from Hong Kong to places like the Middle East, UAE. For example, last year, we set up the Hong Kong Ambassadors Club, which is to promote Hong Kong Inc. We managed to lead 5 delegations to the UAE, signing all the MOUs and around 10 agreements, bringing different companies from renewables, robotics, food tech companies to the UAE to do more business and to have their regional headquarters.
Indeed, you're part of that trend. You set up here in Dubai several years ago and spent an awful lot of time here. I know COP28 was a big deal for you and for the Tsang's Group, and you did a lot of deals in that space. What are we, 6 weeks, 8 weeks on from that now? What's the legacy of those COP deals? Just remind us what you did and how's it shaping up in 2024?
So first of all, I'd like to congratulate the UAE and Dubai for hosting the best COP28 in the sense that there was the record number of visitors, the dignitaries managed to meet people like King Charles, Ray Dalio to discuss about obviously climate change issues. But what was interesting is we hosted the first Hong Kong Climate Day in COP28 on the 8th of December. We managed to forge a relationship with Deep Rock, which is one of the leading green energy companies in China. But this is not just a Hong Kong or China play. This is a truly global issue that needs to be tackled. And obviously the UAE is the perfect platform, being one of the most global countries there is. So we're doing a lot of renewable energy and a lot of tech that we're bringing both from Hong Kong, China to the Middle East, but also bringing Middle East investors to the region here in China to do more business.
Finally, Patrick, it's great to see investment from companies like yours coming into the Middle East from Hong Kong. What about investment flows the other way? Some investors are looking at relatively weak stock markets in Hong Kong and mainland China and thinking, well, could this be an investment opportunity? Full disclosure, I am one of them. The Hang Seng's 50% below where it was pre-pandemic. What would be your message to investors who are looking to invest in Hong Kong and mainland China, either through the stock market or other vehicles?
Absolutely. Great analogy. I would say that the markets are really low. Warren Buffett always says when the stock market's high, you should be selling. When the stock market's low, that's when you should go in. That's absolutely correct. I believe that Hong Kong and China will always be very influential in any kind of geopolitical landscape. I think there are a lot of bargain deals, a lot of great stuff to invest into. So also, being in the Arab nations, everyone's diversifying from the oil economy. So the geopolitical relationship between China and the Middle East is at its all-time best and all-time high. So I believe that's a lot of interesting deals that the Middle East investors can look at in China to diversify.
Patrick, really appreciate you joining us on what is a busy day today in Hong Kong. I can see you're suited and booted in your office on Microsoft Teams, but we're going to go and let you slip into something more comfortable for the fireworks this evening. Gong Hei Fat Choi, Patrick Tsang, private equity investor, chairman of the Tsangs Group, joining us live from Hong Kong.